To date, 2 episodes of Star Trek Lower Decks, the animated series from showrunner Mike McMahan, have been released. The series is only available to viewers in North America by way of CBS All Access in the United States and on Bell Media Networks in Canada. Like most other streaming services, CBS All Access does not reveal their numbers, but Canadian cable TV data are somewhat more apparent, and we have gotten a hold of what may be the actual viewership ratings for the first 2 episodes. In this video, we will go through those numbers, how the viewership is divided between different demographics, the relative drop from the first to the second episode, and about how successful, or rather unsuccessful, the series is. Please be advised that the numbers we are about to reveal have not yet been made public. They are collected by Bell Media, and they have been sent to us by an anonymous source who allegedly has access to these numbers. But as they at this point cannot be independently verified, not even by us, we stress that the data we are about to present must be considered rumor, albeit very detailed rumor. The first episode of Star Trek Lower Decks premiered with approximately 404,000 viewers, with a near even split between the 18 to 49-year-old and the 50-plus demographic. Of that total audience, approximately 217,000 were male and 187,000 were female viewers. Compare Star Trek Picard's premiere on the same networks in Canada, which had 1.851 million viewers. This does not bode well for Lower Decks. However, we may be comparing apples to oranges, as Lower Decks can come across to the average viewer like a kids show instead of the adult-oriented cartoon it actually is. Even so, this is the first show to follow Star Trek Picard, and it barely getting 22% of Picard's audience is noteworthy. Not just of how audiences in Canada responded to Star Trek Picard and Secret Hideout's handling of the franchise, but also of how they continue to react to the new products being released by Kurtzman and company. This past week, the second episode of Star Trek Lower Decks aired with a 46% drop in audience compared to the premiere. Only 200,019 viewers remain between episodes. And even though the series has 2 strong and perfect female leads, 56% of women that watched the show in the previous week fled in their own escape pods for something better. Keep in mind that while these numbers are only coming from Canada, a country with 10% of the population of the United States, it is safe to speculate that comparable percentages would be very similar to the USA. As while the cultures between Canada and the US do have their differences, when it comes to Star Trek, they're far more alike than not. These numbers, reportedly straight from Bell Media, are the only ratings number available anywhere on the planet, for the simple reason that CBS All Access won't reveal theirs and there are no others. The series was famously released in North America without any further international distribution deals in place. On the eve of the series premiere, showrunner Mike McMahan claimed that this was due to the release having been pushed up by a month due to the beer bug. However, this explanation does not hold up to further scrutiny. In January of this year, producer Heather Caden claimed that both Season 3 of Discovery and Lower Decks would be ready by May, while in March, showrunner Mike McMahan maintained that Lower Decks at least was still on schedule, despite working from home. Even if there were delays since then, enough would have been ready to preview it to international audiences months ahead of its eventual August release. That the series still premiered in North America without any international distribution deals in place can only mean that none were convinced to buy what they were selling. If McMahan's claims that talks with possible international distributors are reportedly in progress and are to be believed, then these potential international takers are waiting for viewership numbers from North America to determine which course of action to take. Clearly, these numbers do not bode well, as the chances of landing an international distribution deal diminishes in tune with the decline in the show's ratings from week to week. Potential international distributors will also have noted the lack of interest for the pilot episode when it was published on YouTube, geo-blocked to the US. At least it became geo-blocked once they remembered to turn that feature on, a few hours after uploading. Be that as it may, with viewership numbers like these, Secret Hideout and CBS will have to drop their price significantly if they are to have any chance of selling the series to anywhere else. If they don't, it is not outside the realm of possibility that by the time this is all said and done, the only ones who will see Lower Decks are the few bitter enders in North America. Let us know your thoughts on these numbers and how excited you are for the remaining episodes of Lower Decks that still lie ahead of us in the comments.